Hi, dive friends. I know it's been a little bit, but it's December, which is a good time of month to get back to some of our tips and tricks and answering some questions that you may have. So welcome back to my dive locker. Lots been going on down here. I'm in the middle of restructuring and organizing everything for the winter so I can get some service and that sort of stuff done. But thought I would talk to you briefly right now about a change I have recently made to my own dive gear. So those that dive with me frequently know that I like simple. I think less is more the large majority of the time when it comes to diving. In fact, one of the things I tell new divers is that the more you dive, the better you're going to get at getting rid of unnecessary things with you. But recently, Scuba Pro released a new product that's a little bit different than what I typically use. And at first, it was one of those things where I said, I wonder if this is gimmicky or if I'm really going to like it. And I gotta tell you, so far, I really like it. So I'm talking about a new reel. This is the reel, the finger reel that I typically use. And if you look right here, you'll see that the middle of this is open. And what happens when you launch your SMB, you just put your fingers right here in your dry suit and let it go. When it's time to wind it up, you just take your bolt snap, put it on your line, and just use it as your handle to wind that all the way back up. Now, pretty easy peasy, not incredibly complicated procedure. But one thing that I have noticed in the cold water when we're wearing bulky dry gloves is that this reel tends to get dropped a lot as newer divers are trying to figure out how much pressure to put on it here to let it go. Divers that I watch doing this the first handful of times often, in order to make sure they don't drop the reel, will hold on to it so tight that it starts pulling them up, and then they'll let it go because they don't want to get pulled up, and the next thing you know, it's going all the way down to the bottom and you're having to wind it all the way back up. And I know there's going to be some people jumping into the comment thread here talking about just their experience doing that. So one of the things I'm excited about this season is the new Scuba Pro finger reel. And the reason I'm excited about this is because it is as simple of a reel as you can get with one minor change that actually uses the technology of fidget spinners. So if we all remember that craze from a couple years ago where you could hold that little device in your hand and spin it and it would just keep spinning, I found them somewhat therapeutic for myself or just soothing. I think a lot of people did, and then all of a sudden I stopped seeing them everywhere. Well, I think it's because we decided to adapt that to some diving technology. So this is Scuba Pro's new finger reel. Nice Delrin material, traditional setup, nothing's changed on it from the other one, except now you can hold on to the middle as tight as you want to, and the reel spins on itself as you launch it. So the procedure stays exactly the same as for the other reel, except now when you launch that SMB, you don't have to worry about gripping this so tight with those big bulky gloves that you're going to start going up and have to make a bunch of changes with your buoyancy with your SMB. Now you just inflate that SMB, shoot it, nice tight grip on the spool, and it's just going to take right off on you. And when it's time to wind it up, same procedure, you got your bolt snap, it's on the line, you hold the reel exactly the same way, and life is good. It typically takes a lot for me to get excited about little products like this because oftentimes, like I said earlier, I tend to find them slightly gimmicky sometimes. This, however, I am really, really liking for all of those reasons right now. And I'm really hoping that as I continue working with people into this next season, we're going to be able to see that procedure for that SMB deployment is a little bit smoother right from the get-go because we don't have to worry about this or dropping it and ratcheting it all the way back up. So that's Scuba Pro's new finger reel. And before I forget, want to share with you here, for those of you that like customization, personally I think this black is perfect the way it is. You can also get these cool little inserts for them and customize right to the color of your choice. So for those of you on my tech diving team, we know that we like our own individual colors to denote our own equipment, and we can match all of that to everything as well. Again, I wouldn't call this a selling point by any stretch of the imagination. I like the simplicity and the use of the reel spinning on itself, but it is kind of a nice little touch for those of us that like that customization. So there you have it. That's Scuba Pro's new finger spool or finger reel. Again, welcome back to our tips and tricks. Now that it's December, I'm going to try to create a few more of these videos, and I think next time we'll talk about how to properly rig these so that we're shooting off that SMB correctly. All right, friends, till next time, dive safe.